Let us start the session. So let me go and open one notepad. And let me keep here what is the agenda for today's classes. Let me go and keep here what is the agenda for today's classes. In today's class, we'll go and discuss about the complete introduction to Microsoft Power Platform. Complete introduction to what? Microsoft Power Platform. That means, so now in today's class, in the next coming 60 minutes of time, we'll be understanding what is Power Platform, what type of software it is, what we can do with the help of Power Platform software, and also we'll understand who will use the Power Platform and who will hire the Power Platform developer skills. So in detail about Microsoft Power Platform, we'll understand now in today's class, right? Fine. So first of all, let me go and list out all the different points which we are going to discuss now in today's class. Let me list out all the different points, guys. So the first point we'll understand now in today's class is what is Power Platform. And the second point we'll understand now in today's class is what is meant by business applications. What is meant by business applications. And next, third point we'll understand in today's class, how to implement the business applications using Power Platform software. How to implement what? Business applications using Power Platform software. This is the third point we'll understand. How to implement these business applications using Power Platform. And next, one more point we'll understand Power Platform architecture. Power Platform architecture. Let me show you architecture of Microsoft Power Platform, guys. Let me open the architecture now. Now try to understand. This is what the architecture of Microsoft Power Platform architecture. So we'll understand this Power Platform architecture by the end of this today's class. By the end of this today's class, we'll be understanding what is the architecture of Microsoft Power Platform, right? Fine. So now, these are all the points which we'll discuss now in today's class, guys. So now, among all those points, first let me go and discuss about what is Power Platform. First, let me go and discuss about what is Power Platform. So for now, try to understand, guys. For now, at a high level, just try to understand what we can do with the help of Power Platform software. For now, at a high level, just try to understand what we can do with the help of Power Platform. So now within the Power Platform, we can create apps. Within the Power Platform, we can create what apps? And within the Power Platform, we can create some websites. And within the Power Platform, we can create some chatbots. Within the Power Platform, we can do some automations. And within the Power Platform, we can store the data. So it acts as one data source. It can store the data. And also finally, within the Power Platform, we can do the data analysis. We can do what? Data analysis. So these are all the six things or the six applications which we are able to implement within the Power Platform. So how to go and implement all the six components? How to go and implement all the six components within the Power Platform, and how to implement? Why we need to implement them? We will come to know. Yes. For now, just keep in mind what we can do with the help of Power Platform. These are all the six components which we can go and implement within the Power Platform. How to implement? Why we need to implement them? You'll understand, right? For now, just keep in mind what we can do with the help of Power Platform. And next point we'll understand here. One more point we'll understand, that is who will who will use the Power Platform software. Who will use what? Power Platform software. And also one more point we'll understand, that is who will hire the Power Platform developers. Who will hire whom? Power Platform developers. These 2 points also we'll understand now in today's class, guys, right? Fine. So now, these are all the points which we are going to discuss now in today's class. These are all the points which we'll cover in today's class. So now, among all those different points, first we'll understand about who will use Power Platform and who will hire the Power Platform developers. We'll understand these 2 points first, right? Fine, guys. So first, let me go and discuss about who will use the Power Platform now. Now try to understand, guys, who will use the Power Platform software. Let's say who will use the Power Platform software means, let's say if there is any company, companies will do what? There is any company, companies will do what? Companies will do some business, right? The companies will do what? They'll do some business. So now let's take well-known companies, guys. Let's take well-known companies. Let's take Amazon. Amazon is one company. They are doing some business, guys. What kind of business they are doing? E-commerce. Let's take some other company like ICICI. It is one company. They're doing what business? Banking. Let's take Swiggy. Swiggy is one company. They're doing some business. What business? Food business. So like this, if you take any company, whatever the company it is, the companies will do what? They'll do some business, right? Okay, fine. Now let's take an example of Amazon is there. Let's take an example of Amazon. Now Amazon is doing what business? E-commerce business. Now try to understand, guys. Do you people think that? Do you people think that Amazon company, Amazon company, directly they'll go and start doing the e-commerce business? Do you think that Amazon company directly it will go and start doing the e-commerce business? Or let's take ICICI is there. Do you think that ICICI company directly they can start doing the banking business? No. If you take Swiggy, do you think that Swiggy company directly they'll go and start doing the food business? No, guess. So now try to understand. Before going to start the business, if you want to start any business, then what the companies need to do. So before going to start the business, what the companies need to do here is the companies need to go and implement. The companies need to go and implement some applications. Before going to start the business, the companies need to go and implement what? Applications, right? Okay. Now, what applications the companies need to implement before going to start the business? So before going to start the business, what applications the companies need to implement here is they need to go and implement the business applications, guys. Right? Okay. So still now, what we understand, uh, if there is any company, if there is any company, if the company wants to start any business, if the company wants to start any business, then before going to start the business, what the companies need to do? The companies need to do what? They need to go and implement some applications, guys. Before going to start the business, what the companies need to do here? They need to go and implement some applications. What applications? Business applications. Okay. So now the next point we'll understand here. Now, what are called as business applications? What are called as what? Business applications. Let's take Amazon is there. Now, to start the e-commerce business, what the Amazon need to do? They need to implement some business applications. Now, what are called as business applications means? Let's take an example of apps. So let's say Amazon company will have some apps or not. Yes. So app is one of the business application. Yes. App is one of the business application. And let's take websites. Website is also one of the business application. Let's take chatbot. Nowadays, chatbots, top MNC companies are creating some chatbots nowadays, guys. Chatbot is also one of the business application. And also Amazon, they'll do some automations or not. Yes. To do the automations, we need to have some other application. And next, Amazon company is doing some e-commerce business. So they'll have the business data. If the company is doing some business, then the companies will have some business data, guys, right? So now uh, they want to store their business data. In order to go and store their business data, they need to go and use what? Data sources. Data source is also another business application. And next, finally, the companies will do what? They'll go and analyze the data. If you're doing some business means, definitely you'll try to analyze your business data, whether you are getting the profits or whether you are getting the loss. We'll do this type of analysis, guys, right? Right. Okay. So now, if you are doing the analysis means, we'll call it as data analysis, guys. So now these are all called as business applications. Let's take app is one of the business application. Website is one of the business application. Chatbot is one business application. Automation, it is one of the business application. Data source is a business application. To perform the data analysis, we need to have some other application. Now, these are all called as what? Business applications, guys. Now, if you take any company, whether it's Amazon, ICICI, Swiggy, Zomato, any company, guys, if you take any company, whatever the company it is, so now if the company wants to start any business, then companies need to what? They need to go and implement what? Applications. What applications? Business applications. Now, what are called as business applications, guys? These are all comes under business applications. These are all comes under where? Business applications. Nowadays, to start any business, these are mandatory, guys. These are mandatory, right? So now I want to go and implement all these business applications, guys. I want to implement all the business applications now. To implement all these business applications, what the software nowadays the companies are using? Power Platform, right? So now we understand who will use the Power Platform. Who will use it? If there is any company, If the company wants to start any business, then before going to start the business, the companies need to do what? They need to implement some business applications. To implement the business applications, what software the companies are using nowadays? Power Platform. Okay, we understand who will use the Power Platform. Companies will use it. And also one more point we understand here. Power Platform is used for what? Power Platform is used for what? Power Platform is used to implement what? Business applications. Power Platform is used for what? To implement the business applications. With the help of the business applications, companies will start doing what? With the help of the business applications, companies will start doing what? Business. So we understand who will use Power Platform. And also one more point we understand. Power Platform is used for what? Power Platform is used to implement the business applications, guys. Power Platform is used for what? It is used to implement the business applications, right? Okay. So now the next point we need to understand here. The next point we need to understand. Now, who will hire the Power Platform developers? Now, for this question also the answer is same, guys. So who will hire the Power Platform developers means which company is using the Power Platform software? Which company is using what? Power Platform software to implement what? To implement the business applications. The same company will go and hire whom? The same company will go and hire the Power Platform developers, guys. Which company is using the Power Platform software? The same company will go and hire the Power Platform developers. Let me keep that point here. So who will hire the Power Platform developers means which company is using the Power Platform software? The same company will go and hire them, right? And next point we need to understand. Now, why these companies are hiring the Power Platform developers? Why these companies will go and hire the Power Platform developers? Because this Power Platform developers will go and work with which software? Power Platform software. With the help of Power Platform software, Power Platform developers will do what? They'll go and implement the business applications. With the help of Power Platform software, Power Platform will go and implement what? Business applications. With the help of the business applications, companies will start doing what? Business. With the help of the business applications, companies will start doing what? Business. So now clearly we understand who will use the Power Platform and who will hire the Power Platform developers. So let me go and keep the one point here, guys. As we come to know, nowadays companies are using the Power Platform software. Companies are using what? Companies are using the Power Platform software to implement the business applications. Nowadays, companies are using the Power Platform software to implement the business applications, right? Okay. Companies are using the Power Platform software to implement the business applications, right? Okay, fine. So now the next point from here, we need to understand 2 points, guys. From here, we need to understand 2 points. The first point we need to understand here is, so if you observe what I said here, I said that before going to start the business, what the companies need to do before going to start the business, the companies need to do what? They need to go and implement what? Business applications. Now, why? Why the companies need to implement the business applications before going to start the business? What's the need of them? Why the companies need to go and implement all the business applications before going to start the business? What's the need of them? This is the first point. And the second point we need to understand here, how to implement these business applications using Power Platform. How to implement the business applications using Power Platform. So let me go and mention those 2 points here, guys. The first, from here, we need to understand 2 points. In those, the first point we need to understand here is what is the need of business applications. And the second point we need to understand how to implement the business applications using Power Platform software. How to implement what? Business applications using Power Platform software. These 2 points we need to understand now, right? So now let me go and discuss about the first point. What is the need of business applications? Why these companies need to go and implement the business applications before going to start the business? What's the need of them? Let me keep here, guys. What is the need of business applications is business applications are used to implement or these are used to implement or streamline. What you want to streamline? Streamline the business process of an organization. Simple point. Simple guess. What is the need of these business applications? Business applications are used to implement or streamline. Now, what you want to streamline? I want to streamline the business process of the organization. So every organization will have some business process, guys. There is no doubt. Either if you take Amazon, ICICI, Swiggy, Zomato, any company it is. If you take any company, the company will have some business process. Now I want to streamline that business process. To streamline the business process, we'll use what? Business applications. So what is the need of business applications? Business applications are used to streamline what? These are used to streamline the business process of organization. Every organization will have some process. So I want to streamline that process. By using what you can streamline? With the help of business applications. Okay. So we understand what is the need of business applications. Business applications are used to streamline the business process of the organization. And the next point we need to understand from here, we need to understand one point, guys. So what is my business process now? What is meant by business process? Let me keep here the simple definition. Business process will involve in multiple activities, tasks and rules that are used to implement the process of an organization. Simple point. So what is the meaning of this business process means? Business process will involve in what? It involves in multiple activities, tasks and rules. That means if you're doing some business, then we'll do some multiple activities in the business. We'll perform multiple tasks. While doing these activities and tasks, we need to follow some rules there. Now, by using what? You can define all these multiple activities, tasks and rules means with the help of the business applications only. By using the business applications, we can go and implement all these multiple activities, tasks and right? Okay, fine. So now we understand what is the need of business applications and what is meant by business process. Now, the next point we need to understand how to implement this business applications using Power Platform. We need to understand how to implement the business applications using what? Power Platform, right? So now try to understand, guys. While implementing the business applications, there is one process we need to follow. It is not recommended to go and implement the business applications by your own. We don't recommend to implement the business applications by your own. There is one process we need to follow. That process we'll call it as business applications process. Right? So now, what is the meaning of this business applications process, guys? Let me go and show you the business applications process architecture so that you will understand in a better way. Let me go and open the business applications process architecture, guys. Right? Fine. So this is what the business applications process architecture. So let me go and explain this architecture, guys. While implementing the business applications, we need to follow this architecture now, right? So try to understand. While implementing the business applications, always it is recommended to start with what? First, we'll recommend it to go and implement what? Front-end applications. Which applications are recommended to start implementing first? Front-end applications. Front-end applications means what, guys? Front-end applications is the apps, websites, and then chatbot. These three will come under the front-end applications. Front-end means whatever the applications the customers are able to see with their eyes. So whatever the applications customers are able to see with their eyes, those comes on the front-end. Now, once after implementing the front-end applications, second preference is for what? Data sources. Once after the front-end applications, second preference they'll give for data sources, guys. Now, what's meant by data sources? Data sources is nothing but the place where the companies will store their business data. What is the meaning of data sources? The place where the company will store their business data. We'll call it as data sources, right? And next, once after data sources, next third step is what? Automations. So nowadays, even small scale companies also prefer to do the automations, guys. Without doing any automation, if you are doing some business nowadays means no. it is not possible. You are going to get the losses in your business case. Even small scale companies also prefer to do some automations. So third step is what? Doing the automations. And then finally the fourth step is what? Data analysis. Finally, the fourth step is what? Data analysis. So data analysis means what? Showing the data in the form of visuals or reports. If you see, these are all the visuals, guys. These are all the visuals. Showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of reports, we'll call it as what? Data analysis, right? So now we come to know here, this business applications process is a how many step process? How many steps involved in this? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is a 4-step process, guys. Let me keep that point here. Business applications process is a 4-step process. Business applications process is a how many step process? It's a 4-step process. Now, what are the 4 steps involved in this? Step 1 is what? Front-end applications. Front-end applications means what? Creating the apps, creating the websites, and then creating what? Chatbot. Once after front end, next second preference is for what? Data sources. Once of data sources, next third preference is for what? Automations. And then finally, data analysis. So this is the process we need to follow while implementing the business applications, guys. Let's say, irrespective of following this process, let's take you want to start with the data analysis first. You are not following this process, guys. You directly want to start with the data analysis. Now it is possible to start the data analysis means no. Initially, it is not possible to do the data analysis, guys. Why? Because this data analysis depends on the data sources. Without having the data sources, it is not possible to do the data analysis, guys. If you want to do the data analysis, then must and should we need to have what? Data sources, right? Okay, if you have the data sources, then we can do the data analysis means no. Again, this data sources depends on what? Front-end applications. And also this automations, majority of the times it depends on the data sources, and sometimes it depends on the front-end applications also, guys. So now what we understand here, whatever the 4-step business applications process will have, these 4 steps are connected with each other, guys. These 4 steps are connected with each other internally. So how these 4 steps are connected with each other internally and why they are connected, you'll come to know. You'll understand, guys. How these 4 steps are connected with each other internally, why they are connected, you'll understand. You'll come to know. We'll discuss that point. So for now, keep in mind, this is what the architecture of business applications process. Let me go and mention that point here, guys. So as we come to know, business applications process is a how many step process? It is a 4-step process. Business applications process is a 4-step process. What are the 4 steps involved in this? Step 1 is what? Front-end applications. Front-end applications. And step 2 is what? Data sources. And step 3 is what? Automations. And step 4 is what? Data analysis. Data analysis. These are the 4 steps involved in this. Now we'll understand in detail about what is meant by front-end applications, what is meant by data sources, and what is meant by automation, what is meant by data analysis. And also we'll understand how these 4 steps are connected with how this data analysis depends on the data sources, how the data sources depends on the front-end applications, how these automations depends on the data sources. You'll come to know how these 4 steps are connected with each other internally. You'll understand now, right? Fine. Okay. So now let's start understanding or implementing this 4-step business applications process, guys. So now in this 4-step business applications process, always we'll start with what? Front-end applications. Front-end applications means what? Creating apps, websites, and then chatbots. These 3 comes under the front-end applications, right? Okay. So now try to understand, guys. In order to go and understand this 4-step business applications process in a better way, to understand this 4-step business applications process in a better way, let us assume that we are implementing this 4-step business applications process for one of these companies, guys. Any company. Let us assume that we are implementing this business applications process for one of these companies. Any company it is. So let's take here, I'm taking the Amazon company. Let us assume that we are implementing this business applications process for, Swiggy company. Swiggy company. So Swiggy company is doing what business? Food business. Keep in mind these points, guys. Let us assume to understand this business applications process in a better way, we are going to take this Swiggy company as a reference to understand the concept in a better way. We are assuming that we are implementing this process for Swiggy company. Swiggy is doing what business? Food business, right? Okay. Now, Swiggy company, they are ready with front-end applications, guys. Swiggy company, they are ready with what? Front-end applications. So now, if the company is ready with front-end applications, then slowly the company can start doing the business, guys, like promoting their business, testing their business. Slowly they can start doing it. So now, as Swiggy company is selling some food items, they're selling the food items to the customers. So now, as a customer, let us assume we are the customers, guys. We are the customers for Swiggy. So as a customer, I want to buy some food item from the Swiggy, guys. As a customer, I want to buy some food item from where? Swiggy. If you want to buy any food item from the Swiggy, then what we need to do? We need to download and install what? Swiggy app. First of all, we need to download and install the Swiggy app in your mobile phones, guys. First, go and download and install what? Swiggy app in a mobile phone. Now, once after downloading and installing the Swiggy app in your mobile phone, next we'll do what? We'll go and place an order. Once after downloading and installing the Swiggy app, now we'll go and place an order. Now, once the order is placed, within 30 minutes to 1 hour, once the order is placed successfully, hardly it will take 30 minutes to 1 hour, guys. Within 30 minutes to 1 hour, Swiggy company will deliver that food item to us, correct? This is what we know as a customer. As a customer, what we know? As a customer, we are placing an order. Once the order is placed, within 30 minutes to 1 hour, Swiggy company will deliver that food item to us. This is what we know as a customers. But try to understand, guys. You are going to work as a Power Platform developer or a Power Apps developer. So as a Power Platform developer or a Power Apps developer, as a Power Platform developer, we need to understand one point here. So what we need to understand here is, right, keep in mind, guys, what we need to understand here is, whenever the customer places an order in the app, if the customer is placing an order in the app means, what the customer is doing here is, customer is generating some business data for Swiggy company, guys. Customers doesn't know it. Let's say I'm the customer. I am placing an order in the Swiggy app. If I place an order in the Swiggy app means I am generating some business data for Swiggy company, right? So what kind of business data customers will generate whenever the order is placed? So customers will generate the orders related data, guys, like what is the order ID, sales data, profits related data, food items related data, next restaurants related data, next next customers related data, like customer ID, customer name, mobile number, delivery address, order date, delivery date, shipping date. So a lot of information is like this will generate some kind of business data, right? So now this is called as orders data, guys. Orders data will call it as a business data. Orders data will call it as what? Business data. This is called as orders data or business data. Now, where the Swiggy company will store this orders data. Whenever the customer places an order, as we come to know, customer is generating some business data that is called as orders data. Now, where the Swiggy company will store complete details of that order. So try to understand, guys. Whenever the order is placed successfully in the app, what happens internally is the complete details of that order automatically will comes into where? Data sources. Whenever the order is placed successfully, the complete details of that order will comes into where? Data sources. Now data sources contains what? Orders data. Orders data will call it as what? Business data, guys. Let me keep here. So whenever the order is placed, the complete details of that order will comes into the data sources. Data sources contains what? Business data. So now, next point, in which format the companies will store the business data in the data sources? Companies will store the business data in which format? Companies will store the business data in the data sources in the form of what? Table scales. Keep in mind. Companies will store the business data in the data sources in the form of what? Tables. Tabular format, right? Fine. Okay. So still now we understand whenever the customer places an order in the app, complete details of that order will comes into where? Data sources. Data sources contains what? Business data. In which format the companies will store the business data? In the form of tables. So we understand step 1 and step 2. Now step 3, guys. What's meant by step 3? Step 3 is nothing but doing the automations. Automations means sending the automated emails to the customers, sending the automated text messages to the customers, getting the auto approval, getting what? Auto approvals. These we can do automatically, guys. These we can do automatically. So now try to understand where the Swiggy company, will go and perform the automations. Where the Swiggy company will go and perform what? Automations. Now try to understand, guys. If you observe, whenever you place an order in the app, if you observe, immediately once the order is placed successfully in the app, immediately Swiggy company will send one email to you, correct? What is that email? Confirmation email that your order is placed successfully. Thanks for placing the order. And you can see the details of that order in that email, right? So now whatever the email the Swiggy company is sending to the customer, do you think that those mails are sent by the humans or not? Whatever the mails we are receiving once the order is placed, do you think that those mails are sent by the humans? Yes or no? Someone can respond, guess. Whatever the mails we are receiving once the order is placed, it is sent by the humans or not? Any guess? Yes or no? No. Correct. So whatever the emails we are receiving from the Swiggy company, once the order is placed, those mails are not sent by the humans, guys. Those are automated emails, system generated emails. Now, why the Swiggy company is sending the emails to the customers automatically? Why they are not using the humans to send that email? Let me explain, guys. Because there are two major reasons. Is there. The first one is, let us assume in the Swiggy app, how many customers will place the orders just for one day? In India, complete in India, major cities like Hyderabad, Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, Kolkata, Pune. Let's take the major cities. How many customers will place the orders, or how many orders will be placed? Let's take 50,000 orders will be placed. Yes, definitely, guys. Let us assume that 50,000 orders are placed in one day. Now, for all the 50,000 customers, for all the 50,000 orders, Swiggy company need to send one confirmation email, right? They need to send one confirmation email to the customer. And also, they need to send one email to the restaurant. So and so food item you need to prepare. And also, it will send another email to the customer once the order is delivered. Once the order is delivered successfully, it will send another email to that customer, right? So how many emails just for one day? 50,000 emails to the customers, 50,000 emails to the restaurant, again 50,000 emails to the customers. So totally how many mails just for one day? 1.5 lakh mails. 1.5 lakh mails per day. Now tell me, guys, it is possible to send 1.5 lakh emails per day with the help of humans? Humans can able to send 1.5 more than 1 lakh emails per day? No, it is not possible, guys. Humans are not able to do this work. But what Swiggy company is doing here is Swiggy. Let's assume Swiggy company is in the early stages. They're just starting their business. So Swiggy company, they decided to do this work with the help of humans only. So they're hiring some big manpower, guys. They're hiring some thousands of employees. They're hiring some big manpower. So let us assume they're hiring some 30,000, 40,000 employees. They're hiring. So maybe this 30,000, these thousands of employees, maybe 40,000 employees, they can able to send this 1 lakh mails per day. Maybe they can do it. Okay, this is the first reason, sending 1 lakh mails per day with that. Okay, 30 more thousands of employees, maybe they can do it. But second reason is, try to understand, when the Swiggy company will send the email to the customer, whenever the order is placed in the app, immediately within the fraction of seconds, guys, there is no delay. Once the order is placed, immediately within the fraction of seconds, they will send an email. So hardly it will take 4 to 5 seconds, guys, not more than that. Hardly it will take 4 to 5 seconds, not more than that. So now within 4 to 5 seconds, now tell me, even though you have thousands of employees is there, these thousands of employees, they can able to send the email to the customer within 4 to 5 seconds by understanding which order the customer is placed, understanding the orders data, composing the email of that for that order, sending that email to the customer. Even though you have 30,000 or 30,000, 40,000 employees is there, you are able to do this work in 4 to 5 seconds? No, guys. So you are not able to do this kind of work with the help of humans. So we'll call it as a repeated work, guys. Every organization will have some repeated work process. Every organization will have what? They'll have some repeated work process. Now, if you want to do this kind of repeated work process with the help of humans, no, humans are not able to do it. With the help of humans, we are not able to do this kind of work process. So in order to go and do this work, nowadays companies are using what systems? They are using some systems or softwares. If you are doing some work with the help of systems or softwares, then we'll call it as what? Automation. If you are doing some work with the help of systems or softwares, then we'll call it as what? Automation. So now we understand whenever the customer places an order, what happens? The complete details will comes into the data sources. Whenever the data comes here into the data sources, immediately by taking that orders data as a reference, it will go and send one automated email to the customer, right? So now we understand where the Swiggy company will do the automations. And next, finally, data analysis. Finally, the last step is what? Data. What is meant by data analysis? Data analysis means showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of reports, guys. Showing that data in the form of visuals or in the form of reports. Just 1 second. I'll take some water. Just 1 minute. Right. Sorry for disturbance. Now, the fourth step is what? Data analysis. Data analysis means what? Showing the data in the form of visuals or reports. Now, to perform the data analysis, if you want to create the visuals or reports means, first of all, we need to have the data. Now tell me, from where we will take the data to create the visuals or reports? Already we discussed here. Now someone can answer, online people. So from where we'll take the data to create the visuals or reports? Any guess? From where we'll take the data? Just try to understand this process. Here I already explained where the companies will store the data. Where the companies will store the data. Just see this. Yes, correct. So, okay, fine. So as correct guess. So where the companies will store the data, they'll store the data in the data sources. In which format? Companies will store the data in the data sources in the form of what? Tables. They'll store the data in the form of what? Tabular format. So now, let us assume there is a table. There is a table, orders table. Is there orders table or sales table case? Both are same. Now this table contains the millions of records. Let's take this table contains 10 million records is there. This table contains how many records? 10 million records is there, right? So now, if you have the huge volumes of data like this, if you have the data, huge volumes of data in the form of tables, then it is not possible to understand this data, guys. It is not possible to analyze the data. So in order to go and analyze this data, what companies are doing here is, whatever the data is there in the form of tables, they are showing this data in the form of visuals or reports. Whatever the data is there in the table, they are they're showing that data in the form of visuals or reports. Once after showing that data in the form of visuals or reports, then by seeing the visuals or reports, companies easily they can analyze the business data. Analyzing the business data will call it as data analysis. Analyzing the business data will call it as what? Data analysis. Let me show you one report here, guys. I'll show you one report so that you will understand a better way. Let me go and open one report here. Now, let's take, there is one table here as I'm discussing about orders data, right? So there is a table, orders table. In this table, we'll have the orders data like order ID, order date, shipping mode. Like this, we'll have the columns. Let us assume there is a column. Let's take a simple example, guys. I'm having the data in the form of table, right? Right now, I'm having the data in the form of table. Let's take there is a column, region column. Now, these are the different regions we'll have. Now, I want to know reason wise what the sales, which region is doing what sales. I want to know the reason wise sales. Now tell me, if the data is in the form of table, now it is possible to understand reason wise what sales. No, guys, it is not possible. It is impossible to understand reason wise what sales that be. So as the data is there in the form of tables, it is not easy to analyze the data. So what I'm doing here, whatever the data here is there in the form of table, I'm showing the data here in the form of visuals or reports. This complete is one report, guys, and these are all the visuals. These are all the visuals. Now, if you see in this report, I am showing what quantity. Quantity means what? Total number of products. Products they are selling, 38,000 products. Next, total sales they are doing, total profits they're getting, total orders placed, total discounts they're providing to the customers. And you can see here, here I'm showing what? Sales by category. They're selling the three categories of products. Now, by seeing this visual, easily you can understand which category is doing the highest sales. Technology. And also, if you see here, I'm showing the region-wise sales. Region-wise sales. Now, by seeing this visual, easily you can understand region-wise what sales. Which is the region doing the highest sales? West. Which is the region doing the less sales? South. So, if the data here is in the form of table, if you want to understand region-wise sales, it is not possible. It is impossible to understand it. But here it is easy, guys. In a fraction of a second, we can understand reason-wise what sales they are doing, right? Fine. So like this, if you are showing the data in the form of visuals or in the form of reports, then it is easy for the business organizers. It is easy for the business organizers to understand their business data or to analyze their business data, right? Okay, fine. So this is all about what's meant by data analysis, guys. Let me go here. So now we understand what is this four-step business applications process. So whatever I discussed still now, let me go and mention those points here, guys. First, let me go and discuss about front-end applications. I said that front-end applications means what? Front-end applications is nothing but creating the apps, comma, websites, comma, chatbots. And next, data sources. What's meant by data sources? Data sources is nothing but the place where the companies will store their business data. Their business data is known as data sources. And next, automation. What is meant by automation? As I said that automation is nothing but doing certain repeated work automatically without any human interactions. If you are doing some work automatically without any human interactions, then we'll call it as automation. And next, finally, data analysis. Data analysis means it is one process, guys. The process of converting the business data into actionable information. Actionable information means what? Visuals or reports. Visuals or reports. Now I am calling this visuals or reports as an actionable information means because by seeing this visuals or report, they'll take some actions. Let me give an example. Here, if you see, by seeing this visual, they can understand that South region is doing very less sales. So now by seeing this visual, what they'll do, immediately they'll take some actions. Immediately they'll conduct a meeting with the South region sales manager. They'll come to know why they are doing less sales. And also they'll take some necessary steps to increase the sales in the South region. As by seeing this visuals, as they are doing some as they're taking some actions. That's why I'm calling it as what? I'm calling it as an actionable information, right? Fine. So now this is all about what is this four-step business applications process, guys. So now my requirement, I want to implement this four-step business applications process using Power Platform. How to implement this four-step business applications process with the help of Power Platform software. I want to understand how to implement it. How to implement the four-step business applications process using Power Platform software, right? So let me go and keep that point here, guys. First, let me keep here what is Power Platform. Let me keep here first what is Power Platform. So as we know that already in the first 10 minutes itself, we discussed what is the use of Power Platform. Microsoft Power Platform is used to implement. It is used to implement the business applications business applications process of an organization. It is used to implement the business applications process of an organization, right? So now, how to implement this four-step business applications process using Power Platform? We need to understand how to implement this four-step business applications process using Power Platform. It's what we need to understand now, right? So now, before going to understand how to implement this business applications process using Power Platform, first of all, we need to understand the Power Platform architecture. First, we'll understand it so that it is easy for you to understand how to implement, right? So what's the Power Platform architecture now? This is what the architecture of Microsoft Power Platform is. So for now, try to understand. For now, keep in mind 2 points here, guys. The first point, as we know that Power Platform is used for what? It is used to implement the four-step business applications process. Already we know. Second point we need to understand here. Power Platform means it is not a single software. Yes. Don't think that Power Platform means it is a single software. No. Power Platform is not a single software. Power Platform means it is a collection of softwares. Power Platform means it is a collection of software. There are different softwares in the Power Platform. So with the help of that collection of softwares, we can implement this four-step business applications process. So for now, keep in mind these 2 points, guys. Power Platform is to implement the four-step business applications process, and it is not a single software, it is a collection of softwares. Let me start understanding this architecture now. So as we know that already, Power Platform is used to implement the business applications process. In the business applications process, first always we'll start with what? Front end. In the business applications process, always we'll start with what? Front-end applications, right? Always we'll start with front-end applications. So this is the first step. Now, in order to go and implement all the front-end applications, there are different softwares we'll have. One is Power Apps, second one is Power Pages, next one is Power Virtual Agent. And next, once after implementing front-end, second step is for what? Data sources. Second preference is for what? Data sources. Now here, make a note. If you want to store the business data within the Power Platform, if you want to store your business data within the Power Platform means, then go and use Dataverse. What is this Dataverse means? Dataverse is an inbuilt data storage software within the Power Platform, guys. If you want to store the business data within the Power Platform, then go and use what? Dataverse. Dataverse is an inbuilt data storage software within the Power Platform. Not only Dataverse, it will support to store the data in the other data sources also, like SQL Server, SharePoint, Oracle, MySQL, Excel, CSV, SAP HANA. Like this, it will support to store the data in the different data sources also, guys. What is the inbuilt is? Inbuilt is Dataverse, right? And next, third preference is for what? Automation. Now, to do the automations, go and use which software? Power Automate. The third step is for automations. Now, to do the automations, go and use which software? Power Automate. And next, finally, data analysis. Now, to perform the data analysis, go and use which software? Microsoft Power BI. To perform the data analysis, go and use which software? Power BI. With the help of Power BI, we can do what? We can create the visuals. By seeing these visuals or reports, we can do what? Data analysis. So now we understand that Power Platform is not a single software. Power Platform is a collection of software. These are the collection of softwares we'll have. So let me go and keep that point here, guys. So as we come to know, Power Platform is not a single software. Power Platform is a collection of softwares. Power Platform is a collection of softwares. What are the different softwares we'll have here? Let me list out all those. The first one is what? Power Apps, Power Automate. I'll keep here the third one, Power BI, Power Pages, Power Virtual Agent. Sixth one is Dataverse. So these are the different softwares we'll have. So now with the help of this collection of softwares, we need to understand how to implement this four-step business applications process. With the help of this collection of softwares, how to implement this four-step business applications process. Now let me start implementing this. First, let me start with what? Front end. In the front end, first I want to get what? Apps. Now to create the apps, go and use which software? Power Apps. So now what is the use of Power Apps, guys? Let me keep here. What is Power Apps means? Power Apps is used to Power Apps. Power Apps is used to create create the apps or some forms within the Power Platform. Within the Power Platform, if you want to get the apps or forms, then go and use what? Power Apps. And next, I want to create some websites. To create the websites, go and use what? Power Pages. What is the use of this Power Pages? This Power Pages is used to create the secured web pages. It is used to create what? Secure websites. If you want to create any websites for your organization, then go and use Power Pages. In Power Platform terminology, we don't call it as websites, guys. We'll call it as what? Web pages, right? And next, I want to create the chartboard. To create the chartboards, go and use what? Power Virtual Agent. What is this Power Virtual Agent? This Power Virtual Agent is used to create AI chartboards. If you want to create any chartboards, then go and use Power Virtual. Because chartboard means it is just like a customer support, guys. It is just like what? It is just like a customer support, right? So this is about the front end, guys. Next, data sources. I said that what is the inbuilt data storage software? Inbuilt is what? Dataverse. What is this Dataverse now? As I said that Dataverse is a database software. It is a database software which is used to store the business data within the Power Platform. If you want to store the business data within the Power Platform, then go and use what? Dataverse, right? Not only Dataverse, as I said that even it allows you to store the data in the different data sources. But Dataverse is an inbuilt. It is inbuilt database software. And next, automations. To do the automations, go and use what? Power Automate. So what is Power Automate? Let me keep here. Power Automate is an automation software. Is an automation software which is used to automate the repeated work process, right? Now try to understand, guys. As I said that every organization will have some repeated work process. Now I want to automate that work process. To automate the work process, I need to have an automation software. What that software I'm using here? Power Automate. So Power Automate is an automation software which is used to automate what? Repeated work process, right? Fine. And finally, data analysis. So now to perform the data analysis, go and use which software? Power BI. What is Power BI? Power BI is a Power BI is a data analytics software. It's a data analytics software which is used to analyze the business data stored in data sources. Whatever the data stored in the data sources, I need to analyze the data. To analyze the data, we'll use which software? Power BI. Power BI is what software? Data analytics software, right? So now try to understand, guys. With the help of this collection of softwares, we are able to implement this four-step business applications process or not? Yes. With the help of this collection of softwares in the Power Platform, we are able to implement this four-step business applications, right? So this is what is meant by business applications process and how to implement the business applications process using Power Platform. And whatever the 6 softwares I listed here, 6 softwares and their usages, same points I listed in the beginning of the session, if you observed or not. In the beginning of the session, I said that what we can do with the help of Power Platform. Power Platform is, you can get the apps, website, chatbot, automation, store the data. Whatever the 6 points I listed here, the same I am discussing here also or not? Yes. So now, this is all about the complete introduction to Power Platform. So I done with the session now. I done with the session. So let me conclude this session, guys. So make a note. So let us consider today's class is the demo. Today's class is an introduction class, demo session. So now when the new batch will start, guys, let me copy something from here. I'll just copy and paste it from here just to save the time. So I'll copy and paste from here to here. Paste it. Now try to understand, guys. Let us consider today's class as an introduction class or a demo. So now when the new batch will start, guys, New batch will start from tomorrow itself. New batch will start from tomorrow itself. New batch will start from tomorrow. That is 22nd of April. So for your batch, not only your batch, for every batch, we have the 4 introduction classes, guys. So I'll discuss these 4 introduction classes. The timing for these 4 introduction classes is from tomorrow. We'll start the batch. Timing is 6 to 7 p.m. guys. Only for the introduction classes. Only for these 4 introduction classes. Batch timing is what? 6 to 7 p.m. Once after completion of this introduction classes, and from Monday or from tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, these 3 days we'll have the introduction classes. At what time? 6 to 7. Once after completion of this introduction classes, from Monday onwards, the batch timing will be from Monday, 27th of April. From Monday onwards, the timings will be evening 7:30 to 9 p.m. guys. 1 to 1.5 hour session. 1 hour to 1.5 hour session it will be. Only for the introduction classes, only introduction classes. From tomorrow, I'll start the batch. Only the introduction classes we'll have at 6 o'clock, 6 to 7 p.m. From Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. From Monday onwards, we'll start our regular class work. So from Monday, your class timing will be from evening 7:30 to 9 o'clock. Make a note of this timings, guys, right? Fine. And next point, coming 2 more classes are free. So now you have the access to attend 3 free classes, guys. You don't want to pay any amount to us. Coming 3 classes are free. So today is the first class. Coming 2 more classes are free, guys. In the coming 2 more free classes, what I'll discuss? Practicals. Practical at a high level will understand how the Power Platform software will work. I will show you practically at a high level how to implement this 4-step business applications process. I'll show you how to create one app. I'll show you from app how to store the data in the data sources. And I will show you how to take the data as a reference and how to send one automated email. And also I will show you how to take the data from the data sources and how to create the visuals and reports. And after create the visuals or reports, how we can analyze the data. So whatever I discussed here in today's class, theoretically, practical, I will show you each and every point in the next coming 3 classes, right? So as we are discussing about practicals here, and also it is free of cost. So try to attend them, guys. Once after completion of these 3 free classes, so if you are comfortable with this training, then you can register and then continue, right? So as it is free of cost, so from tomorrow onwards, we'll start the new batch. Tomorrow I'll start discussing articles. And next point, after completion of today's class, I'll be sharing one email with you guys. In that mail, you'll get the class notes. You'll get one email now. So in that mail, I'll share this class notes with you, complete class notes. Once after the class notes, along with the class notes, I'll share what? Video. Today's class video also you'll get. Once after, along with this, I'll share what? Course content. I think all of you received the content. Otherwise, I will share it again, guys. So clearly, I listed here what topics I'm going to discuss in the coming classes. You please go and walk through the content once. It is around 15 pages of content. You please go and walk through the each and every page, guys. Right? And next, how many months the course duration? 2 months. 2 months is the duration. Daily 1 to 1.5 hours. Depends on the content. Depends on the content and the topic we are discussing. It will be, the session will be 1 to 1.5 hour session, guys. Right? So now within 2 months we'll complete the course. There is no doubt in that. Now, even after completion of the course, you have the access to attend the live classes. Live classes access is for how many months? 6 months from the date of joining us. So once after completion of the course, also if you missed any classes or if you want to attend the classes again, so you have the access to attend the live classes up to 6 months, guys, right? And so this is what you'll get an email for today's class. And next point, I said that 2 months is the core duration, right? In these 2 months, what skills you are going to learn? Skills we are going to discuss. So we'll discuss Power Apps. In the Power Apps, we'll discuss about Canva. We are going to discuss about the Canvas apps. And in Power Automate also we'll cover. In Power Automate, we'll discuss about the cloud flows. So we are going to concentrate more on Power Apps and Power Automate. Both Power Apps and Power Automate you will be learning from basics to advanced. Basics to advanced. So now with this training, 2 months of training, Power Apps and Power Automate, comfortably you can keep 3 years of experience, guys. How much knowledge the 3 years experience real-time employee will have, that knowledge you can gain here, right? So with after this training, if you are comfortable, if you are able to understand what I'm explaining here, if you are thorough with all the sessions, then comfortably you can keep 3 years to get the job, right? And along with this is the core we'll discuss. Along with this, we'll discuss some database concepts. We'll discuss SharePoint concepts. We'll discuss Dataverse concepts, and also we'll discuss SQL concepts, guys. These are the different data sources which I'm going to use in the upcoming sessions, right? And next, coming to the registered students, people those who got registered with us. Registered students, daily you'll get the class notes, guys. Every day you'll get the notepad, and most importantly, you'll get all the recorded videos. You have the access 2 years for the recordings, and I'll share the interview question and answers with you, and also I'll share the resumes with you, and also I'll share projects to keep it in your resumes, and also we'll connect the mock interviews, guys. So these are all the things you'll get. People those who got registered. Along with this, I will share the license. So for if you want to practice Power Apps and Power Automate, you need to have the Microsoft 365 developer account. Developer account. If you want to purchase this license, it will be around 5,000 plus, 5,000 plus per month. But here I'll provide this license for free. I'll provide the license for free for 6 months, guys. 6 months I'll provide it for free, right? And also live classes access for 6 months from the date of joining. These are all the add-ons you'll get, people those who got registered with us. And next we have one community for Power Platform training, guys. Most of you people is not joining in the community. I'm not sure why you are not joining. Please join the community, guys. I'm sharing that community link in the chat box. If you join the community, then you will be getting the latest updates. Any update regarding the Power Platform training, I'll post in that community itself, guys. Right? So you can join in the community to get the latest updates. Not only updates, even today's class video, today's class notes, next coming tomorrow's class link, everything I will keep in that community. You please join that community, guys. Right? Fine. And also, if you have any questions regarding the fees details and other batch timings, I'll share my front office details with you. I'm keeping the front office team details in the chat box. If you have any questions regarding the fees and batch timings, you can reach out to them. Now go to the questions. Now, most commonly asking question, guys. Most of the people will have one question in your mind. Now, to learn Power Apps and Power Automate, you need to have any prior knowledge, any prerequisite to learn Power Apps and Power Automate. You need to have any prerequisites. The answer is no. So there is no prerequisites to learn Power Apps and Power. So anybody can learn it. So you don't require any C, Java, Python. No, not required, guys. People, those who are coming from non-IT background, non-technical background, who have some career gap. So if you want to settle in the IT, then this is the best skill. You don't require any programming. Most of the work, 60 to 70% of the work, 60 to 70% of the work will be done by using some GUI options, just drag and drop. Remaining 30 to 70% of the work, 30 to 40% of the work will be done by using some functions, simple functions, Excel-like functions, guys. So you don't require any prior coding skills to learn it. So anybody can learn this technology to enter into the IT, right? Fine. So this is all about what is Power Platform. So I'll stop here today. And I'll see you in the next class on when? Tomorrow. I'll see you in the next class on tomorrow. So tomorrow at what time? Evening 6 to 7. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Coming 3 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll meet at 6 to 7, guys. From Monday onwards, your actual classes will start. Actual class timing is evening 7:30 to 9 o'clock. This is the batch timing. For only the introduction classes, we'll have the classes from 6 to 7. So I'll see you in the next class on when? Tomorrow. Tomorrow at what time? 6 to 7. Right? Fine. I'll stop here today and I'll see you in the next class tomorrow. Now, if you have any questions in today's class, online people, yes, you can please unmute and go ahead now.